Who's waiting 15 minutes for us to be
We have no viewers.
Bill is waiting 15 minutes.
Hi, Bill.
All right, hi, Bill. All right, shh. All right, Adam. Welcome to Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Lemma-Champ or Lucky Track Dog League you run, SCC or NASA, we won't discriminate, as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussions, tips, tricks, news, and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing, whether it's on the spot, hella sweet, or we're lucky enough and Chrissy gives us just the tip.
Chip.
We're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the back.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental.
And we are... No, that's you. You changed it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, right.
It was green a minute ago.
I know, it was. And we are Everyone Racers, and we were so busy fighting with the Wi-Fi and getting this up live that I didn't have a chance to rewrite the intro. So welcome to a live episode. We are in beautiful, legitimately beautiful downtown Indianapolis.
I don't know about beautiful.
All right, cool, hipster.
Fine.
More interesting than expected.
Fine.
That downtown Indianapolis. We are coming from the Professional Racing Industry Show. Today was the last day. We had a great time, and that's what we're going to be talking about. And as we like to do when we're all together in the same room, we try to have a live episode. Woof. Woof. We just got done watching Formula One qualifying. No spoilers.
Right?
Exactly. I will mention that...
Who knew that Lance Stroll was going to get pulled?
There's the pen. Where did you come from? Just kidding. It's not real. It's not real.
We are going to be...
David Coulthard got called out of retirement.
Oh, give me Just kidding. Anyway.
We are going to mention that we are live. We are using a different microphone setup, so hopefully you can hear us all.
Well, better than the live.
Better than 2 days ago.
We are in our Airbnb.
Which, thanks for the feedback, everybody. I know it sounded like you guys were complaining, but it helped us out. Yeah.
I mean, we knew it was bad.
We knew it was bad, but they actually, instead of going, you idiots suck, they went, oh, you couldn't hear Chris and Chrissy, and that gave us a direction.
And thanks to Bill for trying to help make the sound even better than it was, even though Jeff spent a whole hour the other night.
It was like 3 hours.
Yeah.
You guys were asleep. He was still out there working on that.
I know, sorry.
So thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, we pride ourselves on not editing, which screws you when you need to edit, because we don't keep the kind of file.
I wouldn't call it editing. I call it sound enhancement.
Yeah. But because we don't, never mind.
Yeah. Only we had a little blue pill for our sound.
Two behind base or inside baseball. Let's move on to news and notes. All right, news and notes. That's what I was waiting for. Here's the deal: we're not going to have a lot because we've got a packed show and we want to talk a lot about PRI and stuff. But this is huge news. Huge news. So huge, my wife is going to be upset. All right. Tire Rack was bought out by Discount Tire. Yes.
And they're calling it a buyout or a merger. But Discount Tire is obviously going to be the boss on this one. But Discount Tire is calling it a merger.
Yeah. So Kristen Shaw at the Drive has the high points. CEO of Discount Tire stated simply, "We're better together. With some real rubber supply challenges and prices at a 4-year high increases, this could mean a stronger base for a two-family run tire business." Kristen says in the article that the new combined management team believes it can make bigger impact as a team than as competitors.
This is what they're doing.
As a consumer, I'm upset that the two largest online retailers are now one.
It's like a monopoly.
They are not price competitive.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. But
I have
both
other
of those,
reasons I'm aggrieved,
Yeah.
so we'll go it later.
Yeah.
Now, and they're not price competitive, but both of these companies have built a reputation of high-end customer service. I think that does become because they are a family-run business. And I think that they're right in that now they are the two largest online competitors, and they will now go with folks that are controlling the rubber supply and your tire makers, and they're going to go, no, our clients are going to pay that much. You're going to sell it to me for this much. That's my optimistic view.
I'm sure they're going to at some point increase price. I also really, really hope that Discount Tire takes on Tire Rack's website, which is head and shoulders above that. And I also really hope they don't lose the motorsports focus that Tire Rack has. Like they support so much amateur motorsports.
Yes.
They're testing and
the one lap of America always begins there.
Absolutely. Yes. But just they're testing, their independent testing on their world-class facility that we have driven on is without par.
I bought the Pirellis because I read the tire rack test.
And now, and I'll go back years and years ago. I had my BMW E46. Vicky and I were in South Carolina, nowhere South Carolina, hit a pothole, lost the tire immediately, pulled into a discount tire just outside of Green or Malden, South Carolina, Simpsonville. And they hooked us up with a set of really nice Yokohamas. They were completely appropriate for the car, had a nationwide warranty, tire hazard, all that stuff. And then I began to buy all my stuff from Tire Rack for that motorsports focus. But the times that I have dealt with discount tire, and then when we moved back to Georgia, there was a discount tire near our house. They put 2 sets of tires in the Suburban, Michelin's, because they always had a special, and it was actually the Michelin's ended up being the cheapest. So I've been very happy with my interaction with Discount Tire.
Their website still sucks.
Their website sucks. They're in person, and the network of actual brick and mortar stores
Sure.
adds an entire new dimension.
Sure.
Okay. I just want to say, link is going to be in the show notes.
Absolutely.
Great. Fantastic. So, as we mentioned, we're here at PRI, and on Thursday we were able to record a show at the RacingJunk.com booth.
It was awesome.
Truly, and
It was
Mark,
awesome.
and Mark, who really is, he's our guy at Racing
He
Junk.
is
So
fantastic.
nice, right?
Mark, you rock.
Absolutely, and along with Scott and Ian, who also set us up at SEMA, they're all great. We posted the show on our audio distribution systems. It got it on YouTube today with some pictures that were good. We recorded audio only, so the video is just the pictures. But hey, it's better than nothing for those of you listening on YouTube. Matt, shout out to Bill Fisher, like we said, helping us revise our recording. There was a lot of ambient noise. We had 4 microphones plugged into a board. We haven't done that in 2 years.
Yep.
Chrissy was trying to set up our
We did the
meals
best we
for the
could.
rest of the week
Yeah,
with
I apologize
Instacart
for
online.
Freely admit something went wrong.
Yep.
I blew it.
Not the best. No.
Put it on me.
No.
Well, but like also one of the guys was like doing some business behind it.
Yeah,
and
no,
so
no,
you
it was
guys were
very
loud,
shielding
very
him.
loud.
And that's why we couldn't fix it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because when I tried to balance the
Yeah.
levels, the background got so heavy.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But if you ever have an
Oh,
opportunity at a crowded trade show to have a friend of yours just go,
Yeah.
do it.
We
It's
did that.
awesome. Yes.
We did that. It was good.
And hey, if you couldn't hear it, check out Tracy Gaudu and Aldrin from NASA
Aldrin,
West Coast.
yeah.
Both good quality guests for this
Yeah, it
segment.
was
the best part is their audio is perfect.
Mhm.
So
Good.
You just can't hear
mental
me.
and their audio is
No,
perfect.
Chris,
You can't hear
Mine
us.
is
hear us.
like
We weren't there.
60, you're 40, you're 20.
We weren't there.
Because
I mean,
you
I-
guys had the guy behind you that was doing
That's
business.
fine. I am the least important person on this podcast in this particular
You had
kind
great
of episode.
questions,
Right.
though.
I was
He's,
so
he's the
mad.
most important person on the race team.
I was so mad when I was editing it because I was like, dang it, Chris just did a great question.
You had-
Now I got to get it audible.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway.
What's next?
Feedback!
Great.
We had so much great feedback. We really, really appreciate it. You commented, liked all of our stuff. We've been blasting. You're so tired of seeing us on all of your social medias. We really, really appreciate it. We want to, we were so excited to have all of our stuff. Some of it was reposted by PRI.
Mhm.
How cool is that? That is
And that's
so,
because of y'all.
it's so awesome. And we really, really appreciate everything that you like, comment, don't comment. Just look at it. All matters to us, and we're going to be covering those comments later in our extended PRI show, which is going to be next week. We're going to talk more about what we found, what we heard, what we saw, which is
We talked to a lot of people in a lot of booths.
And we got a lot of good information
Yes.
for you guys and for us too, that relates directly to our sport and video.
Yeah, that's going to be really great. So that's what's next week. So you saw little previews of a bunch of different pieces. Now we're going to be showing the next Thursday morning. You're going to see it,
So,
right?
and ideally also from PRI, we're going to be expanding our media empire. So, because we've all got some actual written article ideas.
Media empire.
We're a
mix-
media
We're a media company.
Yeah,
Can I tell that story real quick? Is it story time yet?
Because it was.
Sure. I know we're in the middle of listener
It's
feedback.
always story time.
We went to a Women in Motorsports panel.
Yes.
And I had a question to ask, and I identified ourselves as a media company. And now all I do is get crap from my co-hosts. Not crap.
No. Because
No.
also
We
but
love
also-
it.
all agree.
We all come around.
Yes.
But
yes.
also, it was the on the women's panel, the one girl when she was 17 said, "I'm going to be a professional racing driver." Started calling 1-800 numbers, and she said, "I created an entire media empire that did not exist
Yes.
to support my racing
Sure,
efforts. And she, we met her at Grid Life, and so we all started, writing down, and we've hired someone in her office, and already she's under our skin. So there's we've got a new girl, Cheryl. We're going to be working with her.
Bill,
When you complaints to Cheryl.
Thanks to Cheryl.
Cheryl
Bill,
at everyoneraces.com.
call Cheryl, not us. All right.
I think because I feel like Cheryl's not going to give us a message.
Bill's still going to text me when there's something broken in his
True. Right. All right, more listener feedback.
Okay, just going back to there. So on the YouTube, Randy posted Lauren, his girlfriend, loves when you are the same race as us because then she can talk to people that are less weird than us, even if it's only a slight improvement.
Can I respectfully disagree?
Oh.
I don't think we're less weird than the people that Randy hangs with.
I mean, sure.
I mean, I think we're like at an 8 weird. Those guys are like 9.5. That's all I'm saying.
Or maybe you can dumb down.
Yeah.
Dumb
Okay.
down
I mean, none of us frequently snort sweetener.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's on video.
But-
I don't know that he
but
just
we-
does that.
we-
though.
He doesn't bring his own hot tub to everywhere.
True.
Yeah.
That's
so-
weird.
And
That's
he also
weird.
don't throw dildos.
It's
No,
also
we throw
not
dildos.
weird.
He doesn't
They
throw a
don't.
dildo.
That's what I'm saying.
Also not weird.
All right.
So, the weirdness quotient's kind of balanced.
Right?
Lauren, take it back. I
Yeah.
think maybe you're right.
Yeah, right?
But also, Lauren, I actually enjoy talking to you. So
I
please
should
come over
say,
anytime.
absolutely.
Hang with us, Lauren.
And apparently, other people actually take pride in hanging out with us, in that people are telling us how many of our episodes they're listened to.
Right?
We really feel badly for people who listen to the early episodes.
Stop.
They weren't the best.
Yeah.
So, hey, like Brian from Hack Factory, who said, hey, I'm fairly confident I'm at 100%. I started just before episode 75 and did go back to the start.
Mhm.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry.
There was really one really drunken episode early on that I'm not sure I completed, but I had to give it the old college try.
Hey, we're trying to figure out which
no.
drunken
Which drunk
episode.
Yeah, that doesn't narrow it down, right? Sorry. Eric K is DJ914 told us he's a 100%er and listens to us at the track, and
Totes.
he really can't get away from us. He's on our team.
Yeah.
And Better Than Nothing mentioned going back to the start as well. I got tired of listening to music every day at work, so I listened to podcasts. Also spent a lot of time driving solo cross country for Lemons and Grid Life, and I listened then too. I guess we're better than the radio you get in the middle of the country, which is you get Jesus or country. Or
in
nothing.
Arkansas,
Nothing at all.
there's an entire channel that is nothing but like a rolling thrifty nickel. Just people call and go.
I'm on
the,
sale.
I love that. I love
the-
that.
the raspberry.
Yeah.
But
Shop and swap.
Yeah.
Hello, shop and swap. What do you got? Hi, my name's Fred. I
No.
live out in Blabla County,
That's a thing.
and I got
Oh, it
14
totally is.
chickens that are all
totally,
layers.
it is a real thing.
I got me an 87 Chevy.
Does it run?
That's a 1500.
It
Yeah, it runs good.
Runs
It's got a
great,
cap
got
on the back.
little
She
bit of
goes
rust,
out.
3/4.
Yep.
You take care of it.
and it's
Wow.
fun. It's fun during the middle of the day. It is epic at 2 in the morning.
Because
and
you're
I'm not-
drunk or they're drunk.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And also
Right.
we're going to talk about Grid Life in here because
Yeah.
I love Grid Life.
Do you love Grid Life?
I'm this close to getting these guys to come to a Grid Life
You
event.
love Grid
And we
Life.
got to go to an exclusive Grid Life announcement, and we talked
Exclusive.
to exclusive. I talked to Adam Dubay, and so we've got permission to break this news. So this is going to be awesome.
posted it on the gram and stuff.
There you go. So yeah. All
It's
right.
not
Sorry.
exclusive anymore.
Yeah, but no, that's right. You're not this close. I'm pointing to the camera. You're this close. We're there, buddy. All right, so Josh Hust, who owns a mailing address for his new owns a mailing address for his new microphone, said, "I'm trying to be a 100%er.
It's fine.
Stop
Stop
trying.
it.
Stop trying, Husty.
You're
Don't.
good.
We're
Just don't.
Or just tell us you are.
We're not going to try.
Tell you are.
Just
We're
say you
good.
are.
We're good.
If anyone is interested in the GP Celica, the celebrity GP Celica that we talked about on RacingJumps.com last week, our good friend Jackie Kelly has volunteered to check it out. They're right in the area, right?
Right. Fantastic.
Also, ongoing discussion, debate. Usually I try and set up debates like Max or Hamilton, whatever. What is the biggest debate happening in our messages right now? Headlamps.
Okay.
LED
Let's
headlamps.
talk about it.
Krieger's mentioned that that gets reflected into your glasses if you're wearing one.
Yeah.
Tyler Stank was bummed out. but an alternative option from Better Than Nothing. Glasses wearer headlamp user here. I wear one of those wide angle flat headlamps all day at work. He's a tech GM dealer. I don't know. He works for this dealership. If my glasses are really dirty, I might get some glare, but I don't really have a problem. Right. Probably the shape of your glasses and light will affect it. Also, the Herkins, Hurkins, Orbit 180-degree headlamp, $70 on Amazon, has a little deflector on the bottom of the LEDs to keep the light from going straight into your eyes.
That's nice. Okay.
Sign me up.
I mean, Krager's probably cheaped out because he's
Krager.
Scottish.
Because he's
He's
he's not. He's
absolutely Scottish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Krager's is a value-driven person. And,
yes. And also, Justin Whitburn talked about he was looking forward to seeing us in Sonoma, and it was great seeing you out there. So that was a fantastic time. We would, of course, normally talk about we're having a great time, but this isn't home. This is a great time. We want to all go home and sleep in our own beds, be there, and we're all looking forward to go back. But for me in particular, because my wife sent me a text photo today of a package that arrived full of Chrissy's mom's cookies. So thank you, Chrissy's mom, and of course, hello, Chrissy's mom.
Hi, Chrissy's mom.
the return address on your package actually says
Chrissy's
mom.
mom,
Yeah,
and then the address. And Chrissy's mom may not know this. One of our very devoted listeners, Tyler, was debating between his 2 away tracks that he wants to run a lemons race at this year, and he asked us the merits of both tracks. And then he said, "Well, are Chrissy's mom's cookies going to be at that track, or are they going to be at this track?" I'm like, "Well, they won't be at that track." He goes, "Well, then I'm not going."
This is not a joke.
Not a joke.
No, that is,
That's
I'll
amazing
show
and
you the
awesome.
text. It's hilarious.
We went quickly so we can get right to the main topic. I'm just trying not to get yelled at. So,
I'm only here so I won't get fined.
Exactly. That's right. That's right. Who's going to do the intro to the main topic? Want me to do it? I'll do it.
She
All right.
just did
So,
it.
oh, not that part.
Just say PRI.
Yeah, exactly. So the main topic is I want to talk about the 2 different shows. We're going to have 2 PRI shows. Tonight's show is as the loud fart can of an exhaust goes on outside. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't.
Or it's just rust falling off of an old Chevy.
Could be. This is PRI Show, the Happy Hour. Can they see the Happy Hour? They can see the Happy Hour.
Yeah, but you might not be able to know
It's right over Chris's head. So this is our super cool Airbnb, and this is like really excellently decorated. I came in and took about 12 pictures and sent them to my wife because we're redoing the house. But yeah, it's really good.
It's not only the Happy Hour because we're drinking.
Oh no, because we started drinking hours ago.
That's true.
Days.
We stopped for a while
when
Mental was on a panel, and then we started again. So there's that.
Jeff had to
like
fall asleep
immediately
for a
after.
couple hours.
That's
That's when we got to stop too.
If you ever have business in Indianapolis, get a hold of us because we highly recommend this.
Yeah,
Sure.
So back to what we're doing tonight. What we're doing tonight is some general impressions. We're going to talk about the trip. We're going to talk about the Airbnb. We're going to talk about our special guest in the Airbnb and the hot tub last night.
Sure.
That's called, never mind.
Also,
on Thursday.
in the news that you want to know, we have road test comparisons.
Oh, it's true.
Of both first and second generation. Don't tell. Okay.
No, we have a road test coming up.
We have road test comparisons. Yeah.
But anyway, and then next Wednesday we're going to record a show. It'll be in your phone on Thursday, and that's going to be the real down and dirty PRI. Who did we talk to?
Stuff we learned.
Yeah, really excited.
Jeff might talk about donks. I don't know.
Consumer advice.
Donks tonight. Consumer advice.
I'm
going
to talk about breaks. You're going to talk about donks.
So tonight is general overviews, some of our experiences, how the show went.
Also, Indianapolis, we none of us expected Indianapolis to be this cool.
Tune in on Thursday to get the nitty gritty on all the parts and things and the dealers that we talked about.
It's just happy hour.
Yeah.
Happy hour.
I'm
hanging out, having a drink, having a chat.
All right, who's going to start it while I refill my drink?
All right. The trip here. So as everyone knows, I'm coming 3 hours out of the way. They basically got onto a Cessna 150 with a drunk guy.
Pretty close.
Sasha
Are you?
wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were flying a little tiny plane. It was delayed.
About an hour.
Half an hour.
So
Yeah.
so we start the jokes with now the race is on because why wouldn't we race? And as we picked up a tailwind, I landed 25 minutes early. I texted them and they texted me like 5 minutes later, but I thought I was going to lose this race
You
because
won.
I checked the bag. Their bags got because you boarded like next to last and they had a glove compartment.
Right,
and then
yes,
that was
we literally
for
had
yeah.
that.
And they don't do. I was flying Southwest, so bags fly free, and you guys were flying, pay for check luggage, but then
Pretty
you
much.
ended up not paying for the check.
We tried to not check it for expedience.
Facts.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway,
fine.
so that our trip was fine.
But it was
there
was no hassle.
our flight left an hour late. Okay, it was
Whatever.
a 2-hour flight.
But we all got there within
There was no problem.
10 minutes
Yes.
of
Yeah.
each other, and
It-
then
it
all had
was
our bags
fine.
and got one Uber, which is
Indy,
fantastic.
Indy Airport is small,
It's tiny.
but works.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
we got
fine.
the one lift
Yeah.
here, which was
Yeah.
fine. Our driver was actually really great.
Yeah, good driver.
Yeah.
Clean car, good driver, no problem.
Yep.
Got here.
Yep.
And this house is
Fantastic.
Sweet.
Super cute, right? Like it's small.
It's tiny. It's 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, one kind of great room here. You see, but it's definitely recently redone. It's definitely super funky.
Yep.
It all works, but it's for what we need. It is
Hot,
perfect.
hot tub, nice
Hot
yard.
tub.
Grill. We're not
Grill.
going anywhere.
Oh, we
without
used
a
the
hot
grill
tub.
twice,
Yeah,
actually.
and it's in a kind of it's totally
Okay,
a
neighborhood.
hipster,
Totally hipster.
historic
Fletcher
Fletcher
Fletcher Street.
area.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Avenue.
But
Fletcher
it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like plates, coffee, everything. This is we've
Yeah.
been living large.
So we got in, we crashed.
Yep.
We got up early, we went to the show.
Immediately.
Went to the
Oh,
show.
it was
It was
rough.
20
A
minute
little
walk
rough.
in the cold.
Raise your hand if you forgot your credentials. Yeah. Quick shout out to the PRI staff. Juan.
Yeah.
Juan Torres.
Juan is all over.
Juan
Got us into
Juan
SEMA too.
helped me at SEMA, and he helped me here. You contacted him because your stuff wasn't approved,
Yeah,
right?
He says, "Oh, this ass."
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
That clown
But,
show.
but we showed up. Basically, everything was supposed to open at 7 a.m. The breakfast, the media room, and everything. At like 6:35, I'm like, "Hey Juan, the door's open. You couldn't help me with with my credentials, could you?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, come on in." Blah blah blah. Found out my credentials. I said, "Hey, just want to say a quick thank you." And he's like, "Oh yeah, no problem." And then he closed the door. So clearly, I don't want any other assholes coming in.
Perhaps he said, you know what? This is the best interaction I'm going to
Yeah.
have all day. I'm not letting this day go.
I literally said, I know you're not open. I can come back at 7, but I lost my thing. Oh yeah, come on in. Then flunk.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Media Center's awesome.
Media
We
Center's
love
great.
the media
yeah,
center.
media passes is the only way to go.
Yeah,
Oh,
I wouldn't be
some
an
people that-
exhibitor here. Actually, or if we ever exhibit here, we're still going to get media passes because it's better coffee and good internet. And,
I don't know. We didn't
Internet.
really go into the exhibitor suites.
I think you have to pay for the fancy ones.
Yeah.
Now and I guess like we accidentally discovered the influencer suite on the way out today, which that's a funny joke we'll tell later.
Yeah. So anyway, we went to there were educational sessions.
Yeah.
Just like SEMA, there is an educational component. I don't think the educational component of PRI is as robust.
Let's back up and do the big macro.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
This is a really large convention center
Yes, very.
that essentially has 2 huge wings, but it also extends the tunnel under the street to the Lucas Oil Stadium, which
Yeah.
is where the Colts play. And part of the
And Monster
exhibit
Trucks.
is over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they even had, actually on Thursday night, was a huge free happy hour food music event that PRI puts
Yeah,
on for
it's
everybody.
pretty awesome.
So, but that is
They revealed the new tickets for the Indy 500.
But that is the kind of the bigger scheme of what we are looking at is a enormous convention center,
Yeah.
2 big halls for
Yeah.
people, plus the hallways, plus the stadium.
But I would say still 50-60% floor space is SEMA.
I'd
Yeah.
say 60%.
60%.
Because SEMA has like 4 halls, plus
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole
Plus
outside
the-
thing.
Oh,
And then
so
there's
much.
the like chunking that's still in the hotel
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Harbor Freight
Yeah.
was.
Well,
So it's definitely smaller.
But it's
oh yes.
But it is way more concentrated.
Right.
It is, and if you get a chance to go to SEMA, go to SEMA. It's great, but it is aftermarkets for everything. This is racers.
It's all
Yeah.
racing
Yeah.
stuff.
we don't
Oh.
have
But all kinds of racing, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
how many times do we not hear endurance racing?
we didn't hear it at all. So
At
when
all.
we said it.
So
Yeah.
really was a
The marketing session guy. He talked about.
modified, drag, so much
Circle
drag,
track,
circle track. Right. And then all of a sudden I was like, I went to a session, which we'll talk about next week. But I said I'm an endurance racer, and like,
Well, I'm going to throw one stat out that we saw this weekend that struck with me. That road racing is 12% of the racing market.
Yeah.
Okay.
12% of the
entire racing market.
And we've been doing this. All of us have been doing this for almost 20 years and had no idea. We represented
drag is that big. Circle track is that big.
Yes. Yeah. Dirt, not dirt.
Yeah.
Paved, not paved. Midget, not midget.
Yeah. The Bruce Leotis of the world and Greg really could get a lot of being an attendee of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was a lot of circle track stuff. There was all the vendors, all the chassis builders.
How many Chevy cylinder heads and crankshafts did we see?
So many. Cleaning the cylinder.
Which is not, there's a lot of crossover, like the coatings and the parts, and of course Jeep. We'll talk about G-Force and those guys, like people that all the safety gear, but because now they know that they're not talking to a custom car person or someone that is building one of those huge lifted trucks. They are always talking to a racer. I think they send their smarter people here. I think they send their companies that exhibit at both of those. They don't send their marketing people to PRI. They send their
engineers.
Their engineers.
Because they're not selling stuff here as much as they're explaining things.
Yeah. Here's another thing.
PRI is just great. If you're watching this podcast and you have a choice of SEMA or PRI, the answer is PRI.
I think SEMA, and they were different companies for many years. Yes, they've only recently became the same company.
But I can see why.
Absolutely, it totally makes sense. Yeah. Company.
Yeah. And I'm going to SEMA again. I'll tell you that.
But it's down the street. SEMA, you should.
Yeah, SEMA is so huge outside the professional market. Every single show, every single influencer, every single booth had a car, and there was there's a lot of content that's created for the non-professional.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though it's a professional-only show,
it's trying to grab attention.
Getting your car in a booth at SEMA is a big deal if you're a builder.
Absolutely, because it's going to go out to the world.
And you can't have a booth without a car.
Right.
But here, there's no Bluetooth drive shaft.
There's no Bluetooth drive shaft.
There's no
bling.
There's not 87
tire
Jing Purple Light Company. And elephant tires.
I mean, Nat Kang didn't even show up to do their booth.
Hey, they had a plan.
No, because if you put a plant in the pool, that's not their plan.
So PRI, it's fantastic. I did think they had a little bit less education because SEMA and this actually probably belongs more at PRI. But SEMA had a great youth education program.
They do.
They had a ton of people who were there who were, wrenches in tech schools and students in engineering. And that was a big focus for them. They talked a lot about that.
Well, hopefully that's coming now that they two have combined.
Great.
And SEMA can flex to put the education to PRI for the target market.
Because there's, Indianapolis is a gearhead town. Yeah. Everybody is based here. And today I saw like a bunch
people are bleeding the 500. Like Indy 500, they're just like, oh, I do that. Go. Right. But everybody lives here.
And there was a local Votech because the guys were all wearing their Votech stuff yesterday on Friday, and they had like their different badges and the specialties and all that. So I think you're right, Chris. If they embrace that education aspect in some of the classes, or even if they duplicate the stuff that they had at SEMA, and we always come back to this personally and privately, is college is not always the answer for everybody. And there is plenty of really good jobs if you're smart and good with your hands and you just work hard in the automotive field. And PRI is definitely embracing that.
Sorry, we just opened up the chat. Chris, you're going to monitor the chat?
Oh,
sure, I'll monitor the chat. Yeah. Alex, we're running now. Like we said 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
it was like 8:15.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay.
You're just confused because you've been driving across the country towing a Saab.
Yeah, let me finish my thought on SEMA while you're going ahead.
Please do.
So SEMA is all about education. The PRI message that I think is being said almost everywhere is RPM Act.
Yes.
And
We're going to talk about this next week.
We're going to talk about it next week, but I have to say that almost every keynote mentioned
The RPM.
the RPM.
We've got to do
So-
something. Whether you think we'll get into it, I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like whether you think your vote or your voice counts or not, this is one of those things that it's gonna bust the industry if we don't do something about it.
Absolutely.
So we really need to do something about it.
If you're a regular watcher, you know this. We've been talking about it for a while. I'll stop there and say, Chris, anything else you want to mention on the shout outs to anybody who's listening?
No, it's mostly Alex and Randy going back and forth about Randy's broken ass
Oh,
sock.
come on, Alex and Randy. Tell your
Yeah.
friends to tune in. Get on your Facebook right now and reshare. I'm being really honest about this. The way that
They don't want to admit that they listen. It's fine, and I understand.
They do.
we want people to be in the live broadcast because it's cool.
Oh, and this just in, Chrissy's mom says hi, everyone.
See, thanks. Everybody reshare on your Facebook, please.
Please.
Yeah,
Please,
that you're
yeah,
watching.
just throw it out there. Yeah. But
Bill hasn't said anything. I'm surprised.
Maybe it's not on.
I thought Bill
He
was
might not
trying-
be on the YouTube one. He might be on
Okay.
We're all like all over.
Yeah, all right.
It's fine, it's
I'll
fine.
bring up our Facebook thing and see if I can get that.
Okay,
together.
so let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going. So anyway, anything else you want to say about the general overall PRI experience?
I think we said it before, but it's smaller.
Yeah.
So SEMA, as you said,
It's because it's targeted.
it is. And right, and we said that every
It
third
also might be smaller because of the corona. People might not be
Mm.
traveling yet.
No.
Don't
Just about every booth was filled. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a couple.
They're out of real
spotted,
estate
right?
at the Indianapolis Convention
But
Center.
I think
They
there
have people
was.
camping in the hallway.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it was right. It was targeted. Every third booth was something that we were fairly interested in, right? So there was plenty of headers and transes, and we're just like, I don't really care about that. But for the most part, we were there. But really, as we were talking about last night, most of it you could if you worked hard and didn't create content, which is what we're doing, you could have gotten through it in a day.
Depends on what you're focused
Depends on how much you want to
Agreed,
say about
agreed.
it. Yeah.
It's just smaller. Like I think there are places
Remember,
that we
our industry is smaller. If you were here for circle track drag stuff, you'd have been visiting more booths.
maybe
Because
so.
there's a lot.
Because there's a
Absolutely.
lot.
How many small block Chevy crankshafts do you want to see?
We didn't look at a single one.
But SEMA, you couldn't get through in a day.
No.
I don't think we ever actually saw every
No.
booth at SEMA.
I think,
No.
yeah.
So
I
I
agree.
think that
I agree.
I'm saying it is actually just a smaller place.
You can see everything in PRI. You can't see everything.
Yes, that's what I'm
I think
getting at.
that's,
Yep,
that's
that's it.
definitely
Yep.
a thing.
And it's great. This is what we want.
And
right?
because there aren't cars in every booth,
yes,
it's tighter.
I will say that every car that's here, though, is clearly much more likely to be capable of racing.
Oh, absolutely.
sure, yeah.
Like, some of them are definitely show cars, but they have these ridiculous engines and stuff. So, like, if you actually wanted to do some racing with these cars, it would work. Not like SEMA, where a lot of them only exist to sit there and be pretty.
And be
Oh
polished.
well,
Like
there's
you
a
build
whole,
an entire car to highlight a component of one product.
there's a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
page
Yeah.
of SEMA fails. The
Yeah,
things
yeah,
that the
yeah.
car is not built to
and-
actually move.
And maybe some of these motors had no internals,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like
but they had turbos bigger than my head.
we saw a lot of real racing
They're so
cars.
cool.
You could even get away with SEMA without cleaning it. The 24 hours Rolex Ferrari that was in the oil company literally still had the race rubber all over it.
Yeah.
And I kind of laughed at him. I said, "Oh, you really polished this one up." But anyway, real cars.
Yes.
I think everything we saw was a real car.
And there weren't many cars.
Yeah, it
No.
was way
Truthfully.
more booths.
Yes.
More
with
products.
stuff.
Which is fine.
And very few booth babes, which is great to not see that.
There's still some.
Some, but
There's
still
too
some.
many.
not nearly,
Is really what it
not
comes
nearly
down to.
the
There
same
are
level
too
of
many.
misogynist bullshit that is in SEMA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The SEMA misogynist bullshit is definitely I'd like it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like I think we like we met this fascinating engineer part, and we'll talk about it. The home built race car project, and I just took a break from NASA because I really like this project.
No,
And
like
the com-
the aerospace.
the aerospace people,
Not-
space people, not
yeah, sorry, yeah, not
Which-
NASA.
Right, NASA.
Thank you.
Which-
No,
Which
the,
NASA?
the actual, not the NASA we actually always talk about, the actual space
Yes,
agency.
space.
No, I
not
took a
race
break.
cars.
I took a break from putting people into orbit to come talk about this race car
Yes.
project because I really like it. Now, that's the kind of booth babe that I was actually enjoying.
So day one, we went to the show. We went to some education. We went to
Yep.
the show.
Yep, we did.
Day two, was that today or yesterday?
Yeah.
Was the track yesterday? Okay, so day two,
We did more
More
education.
more education, more of the same.
We should mention that at the end of day one is when they had the big thing at the Lucas Oil Stadium.
Which is great.
The conference or whatever show ended around 5 o'clock each time.
Yes.
Oh, we did the show.
Lights
we
turn
did
out at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, get out.
And we did
Lights
our,
out.
we did our
We did the
podcast.
podcast. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah. So we didn't get to see everything on day one because we were going.
Didn't need to though.
Didn't
But
need to.
also because everybody's flight was delayed. By the time we got settled and caught up and came down off that, it was about 1 a.m. and then we got up 4 hours later to get ready and go
To get
walk
to
a
the show,
mile
yeah.
to the convention center.
Yeah, we should mention, because this is part of the story, our wonderful Airbnb, which we already discussed, is exactly like 1 mile from the show.
Yep.
So it's been rather pleasantly temperatured here. We did have a day of rain.
This afternoon.
Well, we had a solid 25-mile-an-hour wind with gusts.
It was moving us. It was one of
say
those.
40.
Yeah.
Gusts of 40.
I jumped at Bushmates.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm not the skinniest guy in the show.
Oh,
Get
so
there.
you're 6 pounds down.
Get there.
Get there.
Yesterday we ate
But
fries
anyway,
with
so
butter.
what we should say is, day 2, we went to the show. Also more education. Today, we only really did about 2-3 hours in the.
Well, we started off.
we started off with the panel.
with Mr.
We got the
Ward.
panel.
Panel
Yeah.
discussion.
Should we talk about our education now or next week?
Let's do that next week.
Okay, but we'll talk about his panel today because I really love education.
Sure.
That's fun.
Why not?
Okay, so Mental was in the racingjunk.com. I'll give you, and then you can talk about it. Racingjunk.com, how to build your digital business panel.
Yes,
I believe that was
with
the
some
name.
serious heavy
Seriously,
hitters.
yeah. So does anybody remember her name from Car Chicks?
Jeanette.
Jeanette from Car Chicks. She was also the moderator for the Girls in Motorsports panel.
Yeah.
Women in
Women,
motorsports.
so
I'm sorry.
Aren't you supposed to be super
Am I
woke?
12?
Mr.
Am I 12?
Mr. Social Justice.
And this is the and it when we put Chrissy when we put Chrissy up for that calendar for the Car Chicks calendar,
Yeah, right.
and we told you guys, hey, you know what? You'll notice on this page, those are racers. Those were all racers. And by the way, you guys all really responded to that. And then we met Jeanette, and Jeanette's hard.
Yeah,
Jeanette's a racer, and that panel she had, she just went and found, and it's about women in motorsports, but take away that from it, and every person on that panel, badass.
Yeah.
Total badass.
Yeah, we're going to cover that more in the thing. We are going to talk about your panel.
So we're on there. So we're on there with Jeanette, and then Ron. We want to call him Ron. Ron Knox. And
Because Rod would be a better name.
Ron Knox is just a great name, but Ron Knox basically established an entire league of competition diesel trucks and trucks, not just your tractor pulls, but the mud drags and everything about that. He has built an entire thing, and he's been around this for a while, and it is admittedly a computer. His own words: "I'm a computer nerd." Really smart, very personable, really great thing. I drive this car because I learned a lot listening to him. So clearly I was I don't want to say comic relief. I'm not even sure why, but Mark invited me on that to talk about what we did. And
He said, I'm completely unqualified.
No, you're not. You actually gave great insight, and there are people that ask questions to you after the fact because you had something to give.
It was mostly about hair products.
It was, which clearly is not working in this humidity and wind. But yes,
the wind this morning was
The wind
also
this
did
morning.
not do anything between the humidity.
Chrissy and
the
I
wind.
were having
We
a lot
have
of
big
big
hair
hair
today.
discussions.
Yeah.
Jeff's hair was fine. Though.
Fine. But anyway, so we went
But
to.
it was a great. We met a pair of folks that do go-kart parts out of Denver, Colorado, and then there were some other folks that we met in other panels. It was, and these are folks that they have a specific product in brick and mortar stores, and we're looking at it to move it up there. And what was great about it is they weren't people that were selling a product that were cared about sales. They were people that cared about racing and wanted to let the world know, I have a product that I can help you, race car enthusiast. And they were looking to expand that. And Mark and the crew from racingjunk.com put together that forum to help them. And I don't think he made a dime out of that. They just
No.
racingjunk.com.
paid for
It cost them money because
It cost them
yes.
money.
the Danishes that didn't get eaten.
They
That's right.
probably
Right?
had to pay to get a
Oh, I'm sure they
individual.
Yeah, and that just underscores that Racing Junk cares about racers.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. RacingJunk.com. Sign up for the newsletter.
Sell stuff. So let's talk more about our general Indy experience. I have never really been in Indianapolis. I have driven through Indiana.
Yeah,
a couple
literally.
different
Yeah, this
directions.
is a flyover drive-through state.
Yeah.
I've
But
been
it's-
here
it's-
for other conference.
It's usually
I know.
been cruise control at 84 in a Mercedes, or
or a Land Rover.
Right, exactly, going through it. I have been impressed. Indy is cooler than expected. I'll put it that way.
We've only seen like
Like
12 blocks.
Yes, yes. We haven't gone to
It's probably only 24 blocks. Not that big. of a deal.
Sure.
Yeah.
We've only seen
but
12.
the parts we've been in, cooler than expected.
Yeah.
Or obviously, we told us how much everyone would like our Airbnb. We're in a funky neighborhood. That's
Well,
great.
and it's a noted historic district. There are a couple of great bars just down the street that you guys can see because I run to go get some supplies. And then where we're coming in there's some there's some great local restaurants. We went to the what was it? The Indian
Some kind of tap room thing.
It was
today.
something,
Yeah,
yeah.
District
Tap room. That was
District
it.
Tap Room downtown.
Yeah, that was good.
We found a great little tiny Mexican taco shop in the mall because we weren't going to eat
The line was a Taco Bell.
Convention center is a really good place, but convention centers are not known for really good bespoke food. So we wandered down and we would get we went Steak and Shake, and then Steak and Shake, and then we found the taco place in the mall, and then today we just actually sat down and had lunch. There's good food. There's cool stuff down here. We passed art. The first day when we walked in, and the lighting project under the bridge was kind of
Sure.
It's an art lighting project in an underpass.
Yeah.
Where you're walking
Yes.
under a highway.
Right.
And
To make
it was
not-
motion sensitive.
Yeah.
Oh God, we've only got 2 hours of sleep. Where's my
yeah.
coffee? And then we're like,
Because otherwise, it's just a shitty underpass. But there's light, and they had murals on some of the walls. And
Yeah.
Like, so they're definitely trying, and it seems interesting.
Yeah. They're not copying anybody. They're being Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And they're good.
So we've already talked about our house. This house is super cool, super fun. Hot tub, grill, patio. It's funky. It's fun. We all fit.
Can I tell you my favorite part about
Please.
the house?
The beeping.
I guess we'll talk about the beeping since you
beeping.
brought it up.
We will talk about the beeping.
So it has these funky Bluetooth fans in every room.
They're like
And-
high tech, but
We split up the bedrooms. Mental took the couch because putting me behind closed doors is helpful with snoring.
everybody.
And
And the walls are not thick enough.
Sure,
For us. I
sure.
know your points. So it's
I
fine.
did have to leave my door open so Mental could get to the bathroom
Fine.
because the bathrooms are there. But I get into bed and I hear it's a little less than the chirp from a smoke detector.
It sounds like ear piercing.
Beep, beep, beep,
Beep, beep.
beep. So I'm like, so I went to bed and I'm like,
Beep.
what the hell is that beeping?
Stop it.
Mental's doing
We
something.
literally have
So I
4
come
hours
outside.
of sleep.
I come outside. I come out to the kitchen and I'm like,
Well, at this time we had
Where's the
at this
beeping
time we
coming
had like
from?
odd hours.
Yeah. So I went back. So it was definitely coming from my bedroom, and I went back in.
Beep, beep, beep.
Stop. What's
But
the
then
beep?
then it was quiet enough, and I was like, must be gone.
Nope.
Get back in bed, beep.
And
I'm sitting
I
up.
really continue to go. So because we are all very close friends and we share and we're open, we all blamed each other for this.
Yes, we
And so,
Yeah.
Chris, you're in the bedroom going,
Nobody blamed
Jeff,
us.
Jeff doesn't realize he's playing like game on his phone. His head
You
goes
do
like,
this though. This is not wrong.
100% I do
and I'm out here going, Jeff's got some sort of CPAP machine in it.
Everybody's really just
Thank you.
shaming, blaming.
Yeah, we're all just blaming Jeff, but we all get up and we're wandering through the house at various times of the night going.
So I literally crawled into bed with the remote, and I was like, as soon as it beeps, I'm gonna push off. Beep. Nope. And I'm like falling asleep, and I'm like, it's not gonna beep.
It was so irregular.
It was so irregular.
Yeah, if it had been a regular pattern, we
my
probably could have
goodness.
slept through it. Yeah.
But
The
anyway,
maintenance people came
We
and
got a
fixed
hold of
it.
our
They
host,
fixed
and
it.
she's like, "Oh yeah, just do this." We're like, "Oh, all right, yeah." How many
That's
college
our
degrees are sitting in this
That's
table
our
right
biggest
now?
complaint.
so let's talk about having a house because this is what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
Talking about the beef.
The beef.
I raise your hand if you still don't want to like eat with lots of people. I mean, I'm one of them. Having this gave us a place to kind of get away from everyone and have dinner each night, not at a restaurant,
Yes.
not have to pay for food, cook
No
ourselves.
drinks. Yeah.
You know, breakfast, basically lunch was the only thing we really had in public, and we tried to kind of have
Yeah.
that in a
And
corner.
I'll take the pandemic out of it. This is still infinitely superior.
But yeah. But that was one of the benefits, and the other benefit was when you randomly run into like John Pagel at the show, you could say, "Hey,
What?
want to come back to our house and have some drinks?"
I mean, that's kind of creepy when you say it that way.
You know, John, you're a good-looking number.
Hey.
And actually, and John was just happy to like not have to sit in a hotel room.
Yeah.
One quick thing I want to say. I think the mask wearing percentage at PRI is about 5%.
Okay,
And we represent 4 of that.
Yeah. Okay.
percentage.
Well, we were trying to minimize to our families about telling them how much we were.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well,
How about this?
we-
These people
we-
have
we-
masks
we-
on.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. We took, and there was plenty of pictures. We took them off for the picture.
And put
And
them
then
right
put them
there.
back on.
Yeah, like
Yes.
there was hanging out our ears around.
Oh yeah.
But
It's minimal.
moving on to that one, but it's something to consider. If you have to go to a convention like this, especially if you're going to interact with people, and I live in a resort city, a vacation destination city. I still think Airbnb in many cases is really a good way to go.
Yeah.
For exactly this reason. It allows you the interaction. If you're doing a business plan or something like that, you can get people together and come over, and it provides a welcome respite from people who are just tired of living in a hotel room.
Yeah.
10 years ago, we would never have found anything
Sure,
like
sure.
this.
Yeah.
It would have been
Yeah.
impossible. But this is so much better than going to the Marriott
Yeah.
and having 2 rooms in the Marriott. Like, or where are we going to go now?
Right.
And sitting at the bar and running up a bar tab. Like, no, we go to the liquor store and get stuff. Like,
Absolutely.
And this is so much more comfortable and
Yeah.
interesting and nice. And like, it's
And we're getting to know Indianapolis.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So anyway, let's talk about the evening we had with John Pagel.
Sure.
What's his title?
He is the
tech tyrant.
Tech tyrant.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, he is, but he is
I think
the
it's
I think that's
chief.
what's on his business.
He is actually the chief of safety
for
across the
Lemons.
board for the 24 Lemons. He is also a National Auto Sport Association safety technician.
Yeah, and he's got years of safety. He's a professional cage builder.
Yep.
I mean, he's
That's what he is.
and
And a racer.
a race, absolutely.
All around interesting.
All around
smart
interesting guy. I think most of the Lemons community has a little bit of fear and concern about John Pagel
I think
because
it's a healthy fear.
it's a healthy fear. No.
Fear.
What I'm going to say
It's like Kim. Healthy fear.
no, everyone loves Kim. Kim doesn't love everybody.
And not everybody loves John, and John doesn't love it.
Yeah. So John, when he is on the racetrack versus when he is hanging out at your Airbnb, 180 degrees different. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Love him in my kitchen.
We talked. Obviously,
We talked about
we talk
everything.
car stuff, but then we talk
We talk
construction, we talk
kids.
sailing, we
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
we talk
Yeah.
family,
What
we
an
talk
interesting
everything.
dude.
Yeah.
I knew he was moving to the east. I had no idea it
I
was
mean, East.
building a house in Nova Scotia.
His
Yeah.
second
to the,
house.
to
'cause
the
he is a
place.
true Renaissance man.
Yeah, to the place where he has vacationed most of his life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty interesting.
So we've got
John, great dude.
absolutely.
Sounds
We've
like
got 2 new
sounds
comments here. Bill has asked for a highlight from the conference for each of you. Bill, that's next week.
We could do one.
No.
thing
A
if you
highlight.
wanted to.
I enjoyed the women's only panel from Car Chicks. Why is her name not coming to my brain?
Jeanette.
Jeanette. I enjoyed her panel, and then actually getting to talk with her this morning. Not for all the awesomeness that she's doing, but just out of respect for a fellow gearhead and hustler.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, she hasn't had a home for 8 months,
Right.
and she's about to finally take about 60 days off and live in Florida.
Not that she didn't have a home. She wasn't at the home.
No, I mean she's been traveling
the
down
road,
these events.
on the
Yeah,
road,
she
yeah.
doesn't.
You made it sound like she was homeless, man. Living on the
She's not a homeless person, but she has no home.
Mental's identifying with this fellow homeless-looking people. So,
So it was actually really interesting talking with her and her background and where she's coming from. So I'm going to go with that's the highlight of mine was the
logo out.
Between that panel and this one.
Come on.
Okay. I'm going to say my highlight is getting to actually talk in depth with some very knowledgeable industry people that you would not generally have access to. Or it would be very difficult to get access to these people, and how open they are, not just to talk to you now, but in the future, like you say, like, please call me, email me. Like, I want to help you. I want to talk to you more.
But all of those people you talked to were really interested in getting you the best answers to your problems. They weren't buy my product because it's the best. Here,
we had one person said, "I'm not going to sell you this because you don't need it."
How do I fix your problem?
And that's what I guess I was getting at. Is it was access to the industry knowledge that you don't get reading their website. It was talking to these people who have forgotten more about their particular subject than I will ever know. But how open they were and willing to talk about it for the most part. There's some people who were dumb, but anyway, that was great.
Right.
Chrissy, go ahead.
I will talk about it, I guess, next week a little bit more, but I had a great lunch for a women in motorsports lunch. And it was about 25, 30 women, and they were anywhere from somebody at my table was a sophomore in high school trying to be a drag racer, wanted to go pro, trying to figure out how to get herself into the mix. And then there's other people that there were adults that were wrote books about the land speed record. So there were people all over the gamut of motorsports, and it was a nice networking lunch for all ladies. So
great.
I abandoned you guys. You got good tacos. I just had a crappy sandwich, but I had good networking. So
our conversations with us, your lunch guests were probably way more.
They were. My lunch was not as good. My lunch guests were better.
Yeah. If you have your Facebook open, make sure you're sharing on your personal pages.
Yes, seriously, it takes just copy and paste it. Hey, I'm watching these.
If you're watching on YouTube, just hit the share button. My highlight of the show, let me see here. I think
you had time.
We were able. I'm sorry, I was trying to do the tech of the show at the same time here. But anyway, I think my highlight of the show is what made it different from SEMA, made it easier not only to talk to people, but also to create the content.
Okay.
So I'm the idiot who's always like sticking the camera up and trying to get people like.
It's a lot of TikToks.
A lot of TikToks. I should start follow us, find us on TikTok, everybody.
Orange is the
new
best.
Social media.
Sure, Orange is the best.
Yeah, Orange is the best TikTok without a doubt. But at SEMA, you almost had to push people aside, and there was always people in the back. Okay. Here, because it was less crowded, because I think they had more booth workers per attendee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could actually wait in line for a moment at some of the big booths. Yep. And then talk to someone, and they would take their time. And at SEMA, I kind of felt like it was like, give me stuff. I'm here for stickers. Get the swag, like fury at SEMA.
The attendee at SEMA is not a gearhead. And racers, as competitive as we are, we understand each other. I'm going to let you finish. You're a gearhead, but then I'm going to talk to that guy because I want his brakes.
I think they're gearheads. I think the SEMA mystique, the SEMA on everybody's Instagram has made it like a destination for those that, are they really professionals or are they just getting into SEMA?
There's so many people at SEMA who are just walk around picking up swag.
Yeah.
Who don't really do anything.
Yeah. And they're like, remember we saw like guys who are like trying to take everything off the table, and 12 bags of swag. They had vending machines for swag. Remember you had to go there, put in your, this wasn't like this.
This was focus.
This was I'm going to take a moment and actually talk to you.
And the clients too, like we saw like how many guys literally walking through here in Carhartt overalls because they needed to go talk to an exhaust coating person about a specific issue. So I think the clients, in addition to the show being more focused, the clients were more focused.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed.
Alex asked if we ran into Mike Kojima and Moto IQ. I don't think we did.
I don't think we did.
No.
Sorry.
Sorry.
And
it's still a convention center. It's still a big thing.
It's still huge.
I
There's
am
still a lot
very
of people
sorry
there.
Donnie's not listening right now, but Mental tried really hard to get
So
talk to the guy that you wanted.
three booths. I was trying to find John Schneider.
I'm just gonna.
Three booths.
you know what?
Just
I'm
gonna
just
say.
going to sign a thing and you
right?
give it to Donnie.
That's a good idea. That's a great
Yes,
idea.
you absolutely do.
My wife also would have way appreciated a John Snyder selfie. So
Well,
I tried. We tried.
we couldn't. We found his booth. We
I
couldn't
didn't
take
try as hard as
Like,
I
no,
meant
he,
to.
like,
He literally
I kept showing up to every booth right after
No,
he left.
yeah,
And
it was a
and,
mess.
you know, hey, man, John's got to eat, you know, that. And then we had to record the show on Thursday. Of course, we got to chat with Jordan Taylor. He was awesome. Got a quick
Ding.
picture of
Yeah.
Linda Vaughn and sent it to the
Ding.
Lementarians.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had a great
That's
conversation.
great.
Yeah, you know, and
Linda Vaughn, Miss
Hurst, also Emergency Plan Alpha. And if you get that, attend our trivia show that's coming up in January.
Plug. Future plug.
So,
Okay, so I think that was one from all of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we're down to our last subject to discuss. This is solid consumer advice. So we came here and we just said we've got a mile from here to the place, a little bit over.
Oh, good. Transportation.
We can walk, we can get a car, whatever, but
which
also
we've done all of it.
Indy has scooter rental
Scooters.
things.
Bird and Lime.
Bird and Lime. So we're going to
Steph,
give.
just stop watching.
So
All
we're
right,
going to
yes.
give. Yes, they are a bit of a blight in that they're falling over the sidewalk and people.
Yes.
Like, that's a problem.
I was
And
surprised.
part of that blight is people who hit them and do crappy
I mean,
things.
I
to
No,
them
no, no.
off the
I think they
sidewalk.
just fall
They just fall over.
They just fall over.
But
can't stand the crap.
I think some people actually actively do crappy
Agreed.
things.
So, but we got a chance. Well, I didn't, but the three of you got a chance to ride both Lime and Bird. I only have the Lime app, and I was very satisfied with the Lime because, like, when we were at Thursday at Lucas Oil Stadium, we were getting deliveries of some things, including some booze that obviously they're just going to leave in the porch. I needed to get here fast. I grabbed the Lime, rocked it home. I walked in the door. 30 seconds later, the delivery arrived. It was perfect.
Yes. And what was that app that you used? Because the scooter's
That's-
important, but
We're going to get there in a minute.
our listeners, okay,
But
our listeners
I
need to
don't
know
think-
that Boost
That's
Delivery
just-
app.
And
That's
everyone
really-
might not know what a Lime or a Bird are.
Talk
So
about
let's
it.
talk about it. So the business model basically is an app that you download, and they have scooters, electric scooters.
He's just gonna-
Not
Matthew,
gonna
you
carry
can't
it.
really.
Don't
Okay.
bring.
Well, he's going to get it anyway. But anyway, they're scooters, electric scooters
He's leaving the
that
door
they
open. It's
literally litter the sidewalks with, right?
Oh my God.
So they are
One's
everywhere.
coming in.
He's carrying it in.
It's so
It's-
bad.
it's-
It's screaming because I'm kidnapping it.
Come over here. Come over here. They can see over here.
Put it back outside. Put it back outside.
By the way, this was our entire Thursday night.
I
Put
go
it
put
back
that
outside.
yell at us. So anyway, these things litter the sidewalks in the downtown
All
area,
over the place.
and you can take out your phone and rent it by the minute.
You open an app, you scan a QR code,
So
Yeah,
bad.
and you go.
It's so
That's it.
bad.
Door open. It's cold.
So he's coming
Walk
back.
him out. Walk him
He said, shut up.
out. Put in the comments if you want us to lock him out.
Too late.
Too late.
He's already back.
Shut up.
Front door. So anyway, so that is, and there are two competing companies. One is Lime and one is Bird.
Yeah.
Now we can talk about our impressions.
I mean, I only did the line. It was really easy.
Only
You
did
scan
the
the thing,
line.
it turns on. You give it a kind of a kick to get it going at about 1 mile an hour. You push the thing with the thumb, and it'll go 15 miles an hour.
I think we are jaded. We had an incident today, which made us a little sad about it. So I don't really know.
What was the incident?
Well, and
Did you push your bike for
I
5
thought you
blocks?
said today.
That was 2 days.
That's today.
ago.
So, but
Same
what's
thing.
interesting is because these scooters have been here, we had an opportunity to experience both the first and second generation of the Lime scooters
Yeah.
and the first and second generation of the Bird scooters.
We soon. So anyway, yeah, your first Bird was definitely older. So anyway, let's talk about it. So faster than I thought they were going to be.
Oh my gosh.
Like the
Yeah,
fact
we
that
were
you could
so
die.
bad.
You could die on one of
Yes,
these.
you could. If you were not sober,
yeah, pretty much
a hot
any,
mess.
any idiot with a credit card
And
or a
phone.
or a
You need a phone,
PayPal.
right? Because you need a QR.
Yeah. But credit card or PayPal, and you get to ride the scooter.
Ugh, what a mess.
And their
And
GPS, you know exactly
we
where
already
they
talked
are.
about how they charge by the
Charge by the
okay,
minute,
we
charge
talked
by the
about- I'm
minute.
sorry.
But there's plans, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, so any idiot can get on this thing.
Yeah.
And it was freaking fast.
It was
Like
fast.
it was, and now
15
miles
plus.
an hour, 50 plus. But now I understand why city people hate them.
Yeah.
Because you get your ass run over.
Right. So we were on sidewalks, even though all the bikes say don't go on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
Everybody's on the
now,
sidewalks.
in the part of Indianapolis we're in also has like the bike lanes and the running lanes. So
Oh,
there
yeah,
were places
bike
for
lanes.
us. And then one of our hassles, and you discovered this when we rode the bird scooters home, is, it's Indianapolis. They get winter here. So the sidewalks aren't always the smoothest thing. And we're following Chrissy and she's laying down a path and then literally we hear her go, and she did the smart thing. She leans back, she pulls back on it, and she gets it to a halt. Yeah.
You
and
were
then-
happy that I was in front of you because I stopped.
Because I would have totally
Right,
endoed that
right.
thing.
We're on Italian. We're on Italian.
So we were going to the show.
Well, this was coming home, and then we left them all out
this is-
front.
no,
Oh, then
okay.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
They
The
were
zones.
They were still all there in the morning.
Yeah. But we were going to the show, and this is we put them outside our house, still there in the morning. Lucky
Chris,
because
or Jeff wakes up and says,
I woke up first, and I went outside. I was like, they're still there.
"My scooters, my scooters there."
People drive around at night, and
Pick 'em
they are independent contractors, and they get paid by Bird and or Lime to pick them up, charge them, do some basic
And,
maintenance on them,
redistribute them.
and
Yeah.
redistribute them according
They
to
put them
where
wherever
the
they
software
want.
says these are the greatest demands.
No,
So
not
we were
all.
actually
But they
stunned.
put them where people will pick them up.
Yeah,
Right.
we were stunned that they
And
were still
maybe
there.
they said, hey, if they were left here, maybe these people are going to use them again. But anyway,
No.
so we're driving to the stadium, or riding, or
Well,
scooting,
I was on a
Rolling
line. The
derby.
three of you were on a bird.
or on Bird
On the
because
Bird.
you went out first to get the
Right.
boost. But anyway, so we're going to the show, and all of a sudden, all three of us are like,
They shut
Stop.
down.
They shut down. And I'm like, they were all on my phone, and I was like, well, let me see.
I was
what
like, "Your credit card's bad. Stop it! Why did you pay for my
Yeah.
minutes?"
Why are we driving just poverty scooters?
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I
So,
said.
so I opened my app, and it's like a little square around the block, and it basically says, you're not allowed to scoot here. So
We
the
literally
line,
scooted the night
the
before.
line scooter went right
Oh, that was
through.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
The
line.
bird
Good.
scooters
Birds.
stopped.
I went for a little while and then I parked it and
Well, you're
So-
like, "Why are
and I
you
ended
all
up right.
over
And
us?"
then laughed at us as we were kicking.
So we're kicking the electric scooters, and it's like the
Well, let me
app
just-
is like, you're not allowed to leave it here. You're not allowed to leave
Yeah,
it here.
right.
So
You're
we
not
couldn't
allowed to
just
leave it
stop.
here.
We actually, because if you leave it, they keep charging Jeff's credit card.
And
So
we
anyway,
can't just leave you.
so we
we
got-
have 3 scooters.
so
we
we
can't
got-
just stop.
So we got all the way to the
Convention center.
convention center, and then it was like
Nope.
the street. It said you could leave them across the street.
No,
So they don't
no,
leave them. By the way,
no.
we're trying to get to the
Yes.
we're trying to get to the 8 a.m. education session.
Yes.
So all three of them bolt. You did yours, and I'm like, and I take mine off, and then like mentals won't go off. So I got to carry it 10 more feet.
Shut
and
up.
And I got to
And
carry it 10
after
more
we
feet.
left it?
You all left me. And I need them like,
I did not leave you. I
Shut
walked.
I can leave.
You did leave.
I
I walked a few feet away and watched Jeff do all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But it didn't desert him. That's
So-
what's important.
Lime wins. But the next day we all took limes.
Yes.
Today we all took limes.
Today,
Today we all took limes.
Yep.
That's why. Mental grabbed a
Mine
lime.
had a terrible flat spot on one of the wheels.
Oh God! I leave it to Chris to complain about the tires, right?
That's true.
Jim must have had it before. Anyway, we all got lime scooters today. I think the lime's a little better. It definitely had a wider footprint.
Sure. Yep.
2 brakes. Because I had a first gen Bird with only 1 brake.
I only had 1 brake.
Only one brake. I
First gen line.
She was second then, but it was a step on the rear wheel is one
Oh.
brake.
Ah.
I didn't even notice
The first
that.
gen say don't stop with a big
But the
sticker
second
on it.
ones say Step here.
Step here.
Okay.
Probably what happened is,
that's why I
who
said
knows which one is first gen or second gen?
I think hers is second gen
People
because it's a much
probably
bigger screen.
people probably got used to it
Yeah.
doing this, and then they were like, I crashed because the rear brake didn't work.
I mean,
I crashed not because I did 7 shots of Jaeger,
Yeah.
but because your brake
How
didn't work and
there
there's a
aren't-
hole in the sidewalk.
How there aren't broken bones.
I'm sure there
Oh.
are. I'm sure there
Like,
are.
And it's all over like the district where people are drinking. That's where they're littered. But anyway, Lime scooters. What did it cost you for one? For
it's like $4
yeah,
each ride.
We had exponential amounts of fun.
We were,
better than
Chrissy
nothing.
and I were riding and we're singing the Macklemore Downtown song. I guess.
Chris got some.
Better than nothing on YouTube says a bunch of grid life drivers usually get together and have scooter races at PRI. I don't know if they did it this year.
Don't know. We didn't
We
see
just
him.
weren't there. Yeah.
Adam, I'm slightly annoyed I didn't know about this.
And Adam and Alex just said 7 shots of Jaegers. Amateurs.
These are fast.
I am an amateur. But anyway,
Well, he's a bartender.
so Bird and Lime.
It worked for our use
Absolutely.
this weekend.
That's great.
They made our
Absolutely.
lives better.
Great.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think that goes into the next segment, Chrissy, which is
Is it just a
As we
tip?
scroll down.
there we go. This weekend,
That was loud.
I think sometimes the gig and app economy does make life better.
Okay.
This-
Gig and app comedy.
And
Love it.
it's well known that I am not the first one to embrace kind of new social things, right?
No.
But we said
You're
all
not,
weekend.
you're not scared of technology.
No,
but
I like
you-
technology. I just don't like mostly social medias and stuff like that. I don't really
Yeah,
participate.
I don't care what your cat does.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't want to see what you ate for breakfast.
But you also do like cats.
I like our cat, but
Fine.
anyway.
Okay.
So the gig and app economy actually made our life better this week because basically we used it all.
Yeah.
We are an Airbnb. From the airport, we had a Lyft. We used Lime and Bird. For our groceries, we got Instacart. Someone got our food and brought it to the house
While we were
there.
in a seminar.
Yeah.
How much chicken do we want?
No, I literally did
For
this. I
booze,
apologize.
there's an app called Drizzly that will deliver booze to you.
Yeah, I've already drank all mine.
We did all this.
Yeah.
It saved us though from having a rental car
Yep.
that for 4 days would have cost us $150,
And would have polluted.
and we would have to park it somewhere,
Parking.
Yeah.
like at the show. That would have cost us too. So doing all these things that we did with this actually worked. Like I've never gone like this deep into the gig and app economy.
Yeah.
So
In like this concentrate. Yes, I've used Lyft. I've used
yeah,
Yep.
Uber, whatever.
Yep.
right, but
Oh,
I've
yeah.
and I've used Airbnb, but I've never done all of the other things. But we did it all this
Right.
weekend. But it saved us a bunch of time and some money.
Yep.
And it actually
It
fairly
reduced
worked.
our physical and carbon footprint in this neighborhood.
Totally.
Sure.
So
Sure.
give it a shot. Essentially, that's the
Yeah.
suggested tip. Is it was better than expected.
Do we want to talk about how sometimes it works and sometimes it don't work?
This is just a tip. This is
Just a tip.
Well, we talked about you having
don't
to move
expect
scooters-
perfection. How about that?
moving scooters every 10 feet.
I was gonna say there is a human on the other side
Yes.
sometimes. And
Instacart. Yeah.
sometimes you are beholden to that person
Yep.
taking care of you.
But also take care of them too. These people
Yeah.
are hustling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Make sure
And
you
I
give
don't
them
mean
a
that's
tip.
a bad thing. I mean like your Uber and or Lyft, you might be inconsistent.
Yeah.
And that's really what people complain about. Like they say like
Yeah, but tip for good service. Like
Yeah,
if someone took
absolutely,
care of you,
absolutely.
take care of them.
And what I like, we talk about the gig economy in Las Vegas. The Uber and Lyft, they got a little too complacent, and the taxi cabs turned the tables on them. And now in Las Vegas, the taxi cabs are the disruptors. They've got flat rates from the hotel or from the airport to the hotel. So if you come into Vegas, don't Uber or Lyft, grab a cab. And they're playing the same game that Uber and Lyft played, which was competition makes better. And taxis went, oh, we can do this. And the
Cool.
winner in that equation is the consumer.
I think we started the show complaining that our favorite tire place now has less competition. So
And
Yeah.
Tyler, on the subject of tires, Tyler said, Chris complains about tires. Should be on your bingo
That's
card
true.
if it is not.
it's not because usually
Not
our
wrong.
tires are top notch because you would have nothing.
It's true.
You don't really complain about tires. Then.
No, because I am the one in control of the
Exactly.
tires.
He complains what we do to the tires. Like I don't know why you got so mad at me at C&P 5 years ago when I mounted corded tires. Whatever.
I drove 2 hours on those things.
It was dark and I was drunk. Before we go, and we will be doing a deep dive into this, I want to talk about my buddy Dan Buckle. Ran into him. They had a booth there. This is Racing for Heroes. Now, Racing for Heroes is very closely related to Battle Scarred Motorsports and Ranger Road. They do it's also adrenaline therapy. They're just getting our first responders and our veterans back involved with people that they can trust, that they can open up to. If they don't want to talk to a therapist, but they want to talk to someone that understands what they're going through, that's fantastic. And another one of my favorite things is Grid Life.
No way.
Grid Life is moving into the next phase. They have really stepped up their game. We sat in the briefing with that one.
Yep.
Go to Grid Life. They got their 2022 schedule up. It is fantastic.
We're going to talk more about what Grid Life is and why it's important and how cool it is.
I would love to get Adam Jabay on the show.
I think we should maybe save the Grid Life for a future episode.
That's fine.
We'll touch on it, and we'll touch on why you should go, because it is a positive force in the motorsports.
And Adam would make a great guest. So,
Yep.
All right. Do we know what we're doing next week?
We do.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Just now.
No. Yeah, we're doing next.
It's called the segue.
We learned so much at all of the show. We walked so many booths. We talked to people. We have a pile of business cards, pile of stickers. We're very excited to talk about all the things we learned. We'll have little different segments of things of why it's great, and talk about all the products we liked and people we liked and things we learned.
And we're going to touch on some things, but I don't think we're even going to get through.
We're not going to get through everything
because, I have an entire show about brakes.
Yep.
That's set up.
Which you're going to want to watch.
And we're probably going to do a Grid Life episode, and we talked to the guy from ATL to do maybe a second version of the fuel cell episode.
Yep.
And then we got Tracy. Tracy's going to be on the show in January.
Oh, yeah. So, we have a lot of future shows.
We're there.
And that's what we're going to do. And now, is it time for... I thought you were going to play to the speaker again.
Well, I tried it.
Yeah, I think the speaker turned us up off.
Thank you for downloading us. Thank you for joining the live episode from PRI, the live happy hour episode. My drink is empty, but cheers, folks, for a fantastic trip. And we'll see you soon.
Yes.
But anyway, thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's live edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you.
What?
You can join us at PRI, Bill. If you don't get a media pass, how about have a booth?
I think
Bill, you have customers here.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, if you enjoyed this podcast, if you're watching and you're not live, you're watching on the recording, talk to us on the doodly-doo. The live comments will be there first, but we'll find the comments on the bottom. If you're listening on the podcast app or on your phone, check it out. Give us 5 stars on iTunes, or talk to us on the doodle-doo.
And we get it. Everybody says, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, because that helps put this in front of people who think like you and like the same things you like.
If you have any questions or show ideas, drop a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text MENTAL 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram or Twitter. And now TikTok.
The TikTok. Orange is the best.
And I did a lot of work on our Reddit. We have things on our Reddit now.
Please do us a favor. We talked to a lot of people and we made a lot of comment in the last 48 hours. Talk to the content that we made live on the show. We're going to be doing more content. We have a lot of content that's saved because we don't want to throw out 27 things on the same day. So there's going to be more Instagrams, there's going to be more TikToks.
And by you guys interacting with the people that we talk to, they are talking about giving us an opportunity to give you a discount on stuff you need.
Yeah. Or products for us to test. So you want to hear what the next greatest thing is? Like and share, comment on our stuff. Anyway, thanks again. And until next week, keep the shiny side up. Unless there is no shiny side, then don't go to SEMA, come to PRI. Keep those wheels down. Even on your bird scooter, keep those wheels down.
I'm not.